One thing else you want to do here is we can also mount remote follow focuses to this. So these bars that we have here, you can detach them. We only want to use the short end of the bars. Now, I normally just screw in one, but I think for balancing, it's quite useful to put in two just to keep the weight consistent, okay? So already you can see this is beginning to take some time to build. There's a lot of build time that we've got to factor into this. Right, okay, so now we've just got to move the base plate back a touch. I will do that in a second. So that's your motor, that's your hand wheel for focus, okay? Now, the actual hand wheel needs to be powered by lithium AA, not a normal AA. It won't carry enough power output to this, okay? So put that in at the top, lock it in like that, okay? Take note, we've got rec, which is also a power button. If you press and hold that, it will turn on. The calibrate button is on the reverse side, okay? The motor cannot self-power. We have to phantom power it through the gimbal or through a battery. So with motors, you have to power them. So if you actually look at the back of the actual motor, there is a mini USB port. Let's make sure we plug in the mini USB first. You can do this without, but I find plug that in before you put it on the rails, okay? I'll slide it on the reverse side. Depending on the lenses you use, you will need to mark up accordingly, okay? You'll need to put the motor on the right side. Right, okay, make sure it's nice and secure. There we go. Again, front heavy now, so just have a think. It's very front heavy. What we want to do now, here, at the bottom, is a D-tap connection, okay? USB, mini USB to D-tap, 2-pin. We want to power this focus motor through the gimbal itself, okay? So it's very finicky, this, and just take your time. So I'm just going to hold it there, open that there. Pop it in, okay? So now that that's on, let's just loosen the base plate, slide it back. Let's get a bit more, yep. So figure out the weight. We'll also have to figure out the roll as well now, because we're a bit more leaning to the right side. There we go, lock that off. See what I mean? We're rolling right. So now we need to fix the roll and move the whole camera left, just to counteract. Ever so slightly, though. There we go. Okay, lock it gently. Next thing you want to do is, you can actually use the monitor, the EVA monitor. You can actually use that to monitor with and connect it to the camera, and you can rig it up here using one of these support bars. They've actually got 3/8 of an inch and 1/4 inch threads, and they slot in over the top. But you can also hook up an external monitor if you want, so you can book that out separately. So what I like to do is the HDMI comes out of this side, and the camera, when I power it on, is going to turn, okay, facing the other way. So what I generally tend to do is let's clip that on, put it here, like that, okay? Then grab an ogre arm, short or long, whichever, and I usually find attaching that first, like so. Roll it in like that. Make sure it's nice and firm. I've got these 7-inch Lilliput monitors. You can slide that over the top like that. Okay, make sure it's nice and firm. And then let's just get it into a nice operating position. Just out of the way of the top handle as well, okay? So, moment of truth. We're gonna turn on the camera now and see what it does. Press the back of the battery button, press and hold for a few seconds, and it should light up, the LEDs on the back. And the camera turns into shooting positions, okay? So that looks pretty good actually. It's not had a grumble so far.